Good morning. My name is Joanne Long, and I welcome you on behalf of the entire spiritual community here at Unity of Ocala. Please join me for our opening prayer. This is from Marianne Williamson, one of our favorites here. And I think this is really appropriate right now. We have too much violence in our society, and we all need to think thoughts of peace and harmony. Americans have a tendency to moralize, to say endless things to other nations about how they should clean up their houses. Surely we must clean up ours. The days are long gone when we had the genuine moral authority from which to preach to others. Let us regain that ground, take a fearless moral inventory, do the work on ourselves that we still need to do. It will heal our hearts and free our souls. There is new life waiting to happen here as soon as we own up. Nothing less will heal America. And our opening prayer. Dear Father, Mother God, we join in prayer to celebrate this nation and surrender its destiny to you. We give thanks in our hearts for the founding of this country. We give thanks for and bless the souls of those who came before us to found this nation, to nurture it and to save it. We ask that God's Spirit now fill our hearts with righteousness. May we play our parts in the healing and the furtherance of our country. May we be cleansed of all destructive thoughts. May judgment of others, bigotry, racism, and intolerance be washed clean from our hearts. May our minds be filled with thoughts of God and for his unconditional love and his acceptance of all people. Amen. And our music video, Power of Your Love, by Hillsong.
Flowing from a
time to speak together Unity's foundational principle. Together, there is only one power, one presence, active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And when we live this principle, we are a thriving spiritual community, here to inspire one another to realize God's love. Centered in the Spirit of God, we see peace, love, and abundance in an awakening world. And the daily word for today, Sunday, July 21st, 2024. The word is valuable. As a divine being, I am valuable and irreplaceable. Each person is a spiritual being made in the image and likeness of God, blessed with a variety of spiritual gifts we share in different ways. The world needs my unique contributions. When I see myself this way, I become newly aware of my value as a member of the human family, more confident in myself as I shine the light of God as only I can. Living in the awareness of my value helps others see it too. I leave behind critical or negative opinions. I may have held these about myself, and I treat myself as the divine being that I am. Like a beautiful gemstone, I too am a precious jewel among so many others. Together we sparkle and shine. And the scripture is from Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. So God created humankind in his image. In the image of God he created them. Male and female, he created them. And we're going to have a music video before Reverend Lauri leads us in meditation. It is India Ari, I Am Light.
Of the brokenness inside, I am light. 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 I am light.
She is so beautiful. Well, I thought for today's meditation, in my meditation early this morning, I was reminded of a vacation my husband and I took. And it was years ago, probably, 18, maybe 20 years ago. It was a cruise, which are strange things. If y'all have been on one, it's interesting. It's a little strange for me. But we went to Central America, and the first morning we got there, we had something planned with a lot of the other people, which I wasn't really looking forward to. I'm an introvert, and the ship was really nice. I could have just stayed there and wandered around. But there was another event, and he wasn't feeling well. He wanted to stay in the room. He had a touch of something. So I took another venture with a very small group, and we went on a catamaran to a little island we were just actually touching right there on the border of Belize. And the little villages there that we were able to visit had not really been touristized yet. So it was really a taste of the people there and the culture. And I noticed it immediately when I got off the ship. There was this sense of calm and peace that I had not felt yet from going to Miami and all of that. I had not felt. And I was just, and then we took this little boat out to this island. And the gentleman that took us out there was just a handful of us. They were all gathering. They were going to do a beach something. And I just looked at him and I said, is it okay to just wander? And he said, yes, wander. It's safe. It's fine. Go. And I'm like, okay. So I went around. There were some palm trees and some other trees. It was a little bit thicker. And there was this huge hammock between a couple of trees. And I climbed in the hammock and I could see the ocean through the trees, but there was nothing and nobody. It was just me. And I just laid in that hammock, and it was just a piece of paradise. And the more I just settled in, the more I could feel the essence of that place. And I just let myself go. So I want to take us all there. I think we need a little summer break. Bruce is going, yes. Bill's going, yes. Okay, so let's get comfortable. We have a unique opportunity in our Sunday services to just escape for a while, to feel that oneness with God. So I invite you to get very comfortable in your chairs. Take off anything from your lap that might distract you. Take in some nice, deep, cleansing breaths. Nice and deep. Signal to your cells that it is a time of stillness, of going within, of letting go of everything and feeling that power and peace and love of God that is constantly flowing in and through you. Journey deep within your heart and feel that connection. With every breath, we are used by God's life force. With every beat, we are rejuvenated, new life. And just relax. And as we journey away from this place and time, imagine yourself coming to that small island by boat. Allow yourself to step off into the cool, brilliantly blue water. You feel the soft sand beneath the waves as you make your way onto the beach. You sense peace. You feel the warmth of the sun. There is a gentle breeze. You hear the leaves of the trees whispering. You see the sway of the palm leaves. And you feel peace. you can breathe. The tension just melts off of your body. You feel peace. You head for the trees and the shade and the mystery. You hear the sounds of the beach, the waves you can still hear rolling in gently, soothingly. You hear birds, different kinds of birds, and the colors of the leaves on the trees and the trunks are glorious. You touch the bark of the trees and feel a life force running through the trees, sustaining it. Every cell feels calm and soothed. You go a little deeper and see that hammock waiting for you, strong and wide, and you settle in easily. And on its own, it begins to sway with the breeze gently. In the distance, you see a deep blue of the ocean meeting a light blue sky. You feel peace. And as you sink down into that sweet peace, you feel hugged and loved, part of all that is. And you feel special, blessed, blissful. For being able to see this view and feel this breeze. You feel warm and light, yet energized. There is a sweetness to the energy in this space. You can feel the love of the natives here, the kindness, the grace, the honoring of the treasures that God bestows every day, the glory of nature. And you rest in the sweetness and allow that inner scape to open broadly and experience it fully with your inner senses, and allow Spirit to bring to you whatever you are open to receive, to listen, to see, to feel, to know. Simply observe. as you continue to enjoy this peaceful space, be reminded that this peace resides in you. Where God is, there is peace. Where you are, God is. We breathe that knowing deeply into our cells to be reminded of the power of the presence, of knowing each moment is sacred. As we come back to this space and time, let us set an intention to be present to the gifts that God constantly pours into our lives, to be grateful for knowing, and to actively be that God sees us being, to do that which God would have us do, and to know that. Thank you, God. Thank you for this opportunity to know you more, to love you more, to serve you more. Thank you, God. Amen. Oh, nice picture for that meditation. We could have stayed there all morning, huh? Well, unity provides us with those opportunities of respite, of going away. In fact, we encourage it. Take a nap. What church do you hear that in? Take a nap. You can sleep now. I don't care. Won't bother me a bit. Stay in that hammock. We've been going through the Bliss-Attitudes, the Beatitudes of Jesus, as spiritual superpowers. Unity teaches about, we're not the only spiritual organization that teaches the spiritual laws, but we do offer some powerful tools to help you understand them and work with them. We're all familiar with the scientific laws of the universe, not all of them, but the ones we've been taught about and the ones we know about. And those are things that we accept because they are, in fact, the laws of the universe, the physical laws of the universe. There are spiritual laws of the universe as well. We don't often know about these because we're not taught about these, but they work just as powerfully, if not more so. And when we understand them and work with them, they are equally as powerful in our life. We may not know about them, we may not believe in them, but that's okay, they still work anyway. Just like the physical laws. There is a law of gravity. You may not believe in it, and that's okay. But if you walk off a 20-story building, you're going to hit the ground. Whether you believe it or not, gravity exists, and it's going to take you. The spiritual laws are equally as powerful. And for me, these teachings of Jesus in what has become to be known as the Beatitudes are those spiritual laws in action. And when we read them in the Aramaic form, in the way he was talking to the people of that time, when we understand what was going on, we understand what this master teacher was talking about and what he meant by the kingdom of heaven is at hand, what he meant that is a state of grace and it is a natural state of being. Jesus never taught about a heaven someplace else or a hell at all. That never came up in any of his teachings. Or that only certain people had access to that God. That wasn't his teaching or his example or the power of his message. And he was a brilliant man, extremely educated. And he was very familiar with all the different sects of the Jewish tribes in that time. Not quite as many as there are Christian tribes today, but there were quite a few. And he went through a few of them in his journey. And what turned him from staying in those particular cultures was exclusiveness. There was always someone left out of that particular tribe. In some it was women. In others it was people of another nation. In others it was people of a different skin color. He had a different journey. And he used the teachings of the Bible, but he used it in a metaphysical way. The spirit of the word, not the law of the word. Because those laws written by man can change. But these spiritual laws do not. And God does not. And the God of Jesus was a God of love, pure and simple love. And Jesus taught that there is a way to maneuver on this planet Earth through this boot camp, understanding why we're here and being in this world but not of it. We talked a little bit about this on Wednesday. What does that mean? That means we have that God stuff in us where we are able to live above the fray and the challenges, even though these things are happening in, around, and to us. There is a way to live through them as if heaven is activated right now. It's an extraordinary way to live, and there have been humans on this planet other than Jesus that have done it extremely well and masterfully. Modern day ones, I would say the Dalai Lama. These people that experience this level of bliss at all times as a natural state of being. Bishop Tutu is another one. He just has a joy factor. There is and it's not a poo-poo to the things of the world. Oh, you humans. It's not that. It's just that they've been there and they understand. Sometimes it is through these deepest and darkest challenges that we get a grasp of the hem of the garment. And those challenges are opportunities to experience life in a different way. That's what Jesus was talking about, because these tribes of people he was addressing were slowly and surely, not so slowly, being taken over by the Roman realm. It was becoming a very harsh living. The Romans wanted it one specific way, so they held all the power, period. Didn't matter about you. We want your money. That's it. Shut up. Do your job. Give us the money. And so Jesus was showing them a way that enabled them to thrive. And of course, people were drawn to him by the thousands. And they were so enamored with this man and the way he lifted himself above all of this. They cried during his messages. Men would break down. They had not been in that force and power of love. They had not felt the presence of that kind of greatness. And his teachings addressed them in a way they could understand and feel God through him. And it was accessible. It wasn't something you have to do in order to get there. You do this. That wasn't it at all. God is always here, like a guiding parent loving you. Not just me, but you too. And he gave us one commandment that gives us access to these spiritual powers. Anybody know what that one commandment is? Thank you. You've been doing your homework. You love one another like I have loved you. That's the keys to the kingdom. That's how to access. And these Beatitudes, more powerfully, I think, than any of his teachings, show us how to access that. And we know these things by quantum physics now. Jesus was one of the master physicians. And I say just one because there were others who understood this. He understood what the Joitish meditators have known for thousands of years. Maybe he knew a few of them. That when there is a certain population of any given number of organisms, whether it's plants, animals, cells, that percentage, it's a magic number, and it's so small, will flip the rest of the population. This works both ways. So you see this collective, right now in America and some other countries, there's these politicians raging and foaming and creating division. That's what they do. That's what they want. So they have power. When we're divided, we're not as powerful as we are when we're united. And that tends to spread. It's that tipping point. But it works beautifully the other way too. And the percentage is so small that the percentage of people in this room, between 40 and 50, have the tipping point for the entire Marion County. Think about that. You can take 25 of these meditators into an inner city, and the crime rate will change. They don't put that on the front page, but it's proven. And don't trust me, do your homework. You'll find that to be true. I was introduced to this type of powerful meditation through Deepak Chopra years and years and years ago, because he was very familiar with those teachings, with his Indian heritage and background, but he came to be educated in America as a physician. And his work combines those two worlds, incredibly beautiful. And they have the ability, these trained meditators, to make that tipping point occur. And so what is that they're doing? It's the power of thought. It is the power of their prayer, which is what they are thinking, what they are speaking, what they are feeling, and what they are doing. Us alone in our homes have that power. When I first started coming to Unity and learning these practices and was doing my work, I thought everybody was getting so much nicer in my family and in my workplace. And I'm like, this is great. It wasn't them, it was me. But I had this effect because of that scientific and spiritual principle. I didn't know I was activating it. And Jesus explained to them, his followers, that this is a natural state of being. It was not blessed are they, it is blissful is they, because they were able to activate a state of ecstasy that is sustained. It is a natural state. When we are living up to these principles, we are accessing the kingdom of heaven. Isn't it great to know that heaven is bliss? I mean, we always kind of knew that from our old teachings, but we had to be really good here in order to get there, to get to the bliss. But that's not the case. We get to activate it now. So we've been going through these Beatitudes, these Bliss-Attitudes, with the Aramaic version. And today, in the final Beatitude, and we're going to go into something else, talks about the peacemakers. In ancient times, throughout Palestine, there were these people in each of these villages that were blessed with the honor to be peacemakers. They were generally stationed at the city gates. They were also considered gatekeepers. But they were the people, they were not hired, they were not paid. They were selected in a tribe, like the Native Americans would do. They would select specific people. And these people were infused with peace and would settle and resolve differences in the tribes. Jewish tribes still use them today. They are counted on as counsel. They have no stakes in either or. It's kind of like a guardian ad litem. Any of you, I did that work years ago, where you represent the child, period, not the parents, not the attorneys, not the courts, period. And they would represent the tribes, period. What is in the best interest of the tribe. Arenopios, they called, the keepers of the peace. And they were highly esteemed. And so when Jesus was talking about blissful are those peacekeepers, for theirs is the kingdom. They're living it. When you are making a decision for the tribe, you're with God. People recognize it and they honor it. And most importantly, you recognize it and you honor it. And think about the decisions we make all day long, every day. Whose interest are you holding when you make those decisions? Usually it's me, my kids, my family, my job, my car, whatever we're making decisions for. What if you made a decision that is the best for everybody? The best for everybody. I learned many, many years ago, God says yes and yes. What? God says yes and yes. Always. Whoa, 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 whoa. What about abortion? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What about... Yes, I'm not pro-abortion. I'm pro-education. Yes and yes. There's a difference. But we make it so complicated. Us and them, us and them, us and them, us and them. God says yes and yes. How do we solve this problem? How do we resolve it? What's in the best of the tribe? Not stripping power away from a group of people. That's silly. That's not in the best of the tribe. Education. That's in the best of the tribe. Yes and yes. Is your boundary hurting another? Is there a natural waterway coming through? Are we doing damage to Mother Earth or to another tribe? It can be very simple. You can see how it could have gotten complicated, but they would pull it back to God. What is in the best of the tribe? I mean, we're just like a bunch of spoiled brats. We have to get along. We have to figure it out. What Marianne Williamson, you quoted her this morning, said years ago, we got to figure out how to get along with each other because there's only going to be about 20 of us left if we keep this up. But it doesn't have to be that complicated. And the beauty of it is, as we activate these principles, we are firing off these bliss bombs in us, these molecules, these bliss molecules that we talked about many weeks ago, anandamides. I never say that word right, but it is, right? Bruce tells me, yes, these are the dopamine molecules that ping, 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 and put us in that natural state. There are unnatural ways to get there, but these put us there, and it is in the actions that we use in our life to activate them. So I want to go over these 7 as Jesus would have said them, the Beatitudes, because they are so incredibly powerful. First, I want to read what George Lomsa wrote, if I can find it, about George Lomsa, as you know, was the scholar that came and helped us understand, helped the West understand what Jesus was talking about, what was going on in his time and why he would have said it and what way he would have said it and what was actually said. And it makes extraordinary sense to those of us who have questioned some of these interpretations for decades. He talks about the Beatitudes are the foundation stones and the beginning of a new worldview of peace and justice that Jesus saw and insisted on and lived and walked and talked, that allowed everybody to rise to the top, everybody to rise to the top. Even in those little villages that were continuing to be oppressed, he found ways and tools for these people to live in those spiritual teachings and activate those spiritual powers. He talks about the kingdom is not political but spiritual. It is not in the sky or heaven somewhere waiting to come down when Jesus reappears. The truth is this kingdom is right here and right now and has always been present. The first one that we read, Tue han miskayan bruho dihoni malkutha dishmaya. Blissful and content are they who have no reason to boast over others because they are so filled in their own life. That will elevate you. When you're jealous of someone else, you are putting yourself out of the kingdom. You're wanting something that you already have. It's that simple. We don't think about it as putting us in this state. Blissful are they that mourn, for they have touched a depth so empty that they have clung to God and cling still. Myrtle Fillmore used to say, give me a room full of addicts, because they are hungry rather than complacent folks, because they have nothing to learn. That hunger that we feel when we lose somebody, when we suffer tragedy, when it breaks us, and we have nothing to cling to but God. We find something so extraordinary. You've all been there. I've listened to you in classes. We know what that is. Blissful are they, the gentle ones, that do not resist. This is a tough one. But you can start with little baby steps. When someone wants to argue, smile and walk away. They really don't like that, but that's not why we do it. Smile and walk away because God just said, you passed. Feel joyful. And doesn't it feel wonderful not to engage? But change the channel, to turn it off. Blissful are they who are hungering and thirsting for justice, for they will be satisfied. And you will see this in your everyday experiences when you decide to say yes and yes. When you don't cling to my side because I'm right, because that can't be right. That's so easy to do. When you say yes and yes, when you become the gatekeeper, yes and yes. Yes a little, that's enough. Yes a little, that's enough. Become that wise grandmother. Or grandfather, sorry. Hey Dane Hadwa, Warswa, Debraka Sigi Bishmaya. He goes on, Jesus to speak. Then rejoice and thrive. Rejoice and thrive. It seems to us looking in from the outside that might sound harsh, but it wasn't. It was giving them permission. Live your lives. Live your lives. Stop. Stop the fretting. Stop the wallowing. Stop the complaining. Live your lives. Go lay in that hammock. Smell the ocean. Live your lives. Do you know how spoiled we are? Do you know how blessed we are? Do you know how fortunate we are? And give those blessings to everyone that you are blessed with. Every moment is sacred and holy. Every moment is sacred and holy. And there you will not only touch, but wear the garment. Ah, what a wonderful series. I encourage you to reread all the Beatitudes with this new light and look at how they affect your life and how you can shift everything around you when you begin to work with these spiritual laws. And we're going to start another study. Deepak's really been on my heart this week. He was one of the foremost spiritual teachers, I think, in the early days, not transcendentalist, but back 40, 50 years ago, that really brought forth these spiritual laws in a way that were understandable and powerful. And so we're going to look at the 7 spiritual laws of success. Deepak Chopra is one of his first works. And it's so incredibly, you would think that it's success about work like The Secret. It's not that at all. That's not what unity is. It's about accessing these spiritual powers. Does success come with that? Yeah. Does monetary gain? Usually, yeah, that's the frosting. But that's not the goal. The goal is to be able to empower your lives with these teachings and these understandings of the practicality of these spiritual laws in a way that you never did before, because they are powerful. And he begins this study that we'll start next week with the law of pure potentiality. This is a spiritual law. It is the first one that we really focus on in teachings like this, because it reminds us that swimming all around us are these gazillions of molecules waiting to become manifest. And we have power over how that happens, whether you think you do or not, because you're making it happen. And if the things around you aren't bringing you joy and bliss, it's time to change the way you think about the things around you, and the things around you will change, right? The law of pure potentiality. The source of all creation is pure consciousness. Pure potentiality seeking expression from the unmanifest to the manifest. When we realize that our true self is one of pure potentiality, we align with the power that manifests everything in the universe. So your homework this week is to begin to activate that power. And what does that mean? I pose a question for Wednesday's class, a topic. If you had one thing in your life, now or previously, that you would change, what would that be? Don't go too deep, just whatever surfaces. We're going to talk about that. And during this time, in the next few days and leading up to next Sunday, look around your environment. This is everything you have manifested. Everything in your environment, Everything that has come to you and through you, you have manifested. Just think about that. And begin to put on some of these bliss attitudes as you leave your environment and see the effect that you have. Yeah, you all know what to do. Yes, we can do this. We can be the change. We're the ones we've waited for. And it's time. Indeed. Oh, good song, good song.
Light a candle for peace, light a candle for love, light a candle that shines all the way around the world. Light a candle for me, light a candle for you, that our wish for world peace will one day come true. Light a candle for peace, light a candle for love, light a candle that shines all the way around the world. Light a candle for me, light a candle for you, that our wish for world peace will one day come true. Sing peace around the world. 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 Light a candle for peace, light a candle for love, light a candle that shines all the way around the world. Light a candle for me, light a candle for you, that our wish for world peace will one day come true.
It was beautiful. Will the ushers come forward, please? It's time to bless our tithes and offerings. Divine love flowing in and through me blesses all that I am, all that I give, and all that I live, and that I receive, and am grateful. It's time for our prayer box blessing. We go forward in faith by placing a prayer in here for others or for ourselves. And Prayer works. We concentrate all of our love and all of our intention to the needs and the thankful prayers that are in this box. After they've been here with us for 30 days, they go to Silent Unity, where the ministerial students pray over them as well. Please feel free to put in a prayer. If you would like one-on-one prayer, we have chaplains here today. Jim is wearing the stole. Anyone that you see in our midst that's wearing one of the stoles would be happy to pray with you or for you after the service. And we have children. Would children come up, please, and get a blessing from us? Hi, Gabby. Hey, JJ. Okay. We have a special blessing for our kids. We love you. We appreciate you. We see you loved, guided, and protected. And we empower you to do great things. Okay, do we have any first-time visitors here today? We don't. Raise your hand, you'll get a gift from the ushers. And we don't ask you to make a speech or anything, so. Yes, so you just get a gift from our ushers. And we have a special blessing for our visitors together. We love you, we bless you, we see Christ in you. We love you, we bless you, we behold the Christ in you. We love you, we bless you, and we behold the Christ in you. Okay, now it's time for announcements. Will we be having unity conversations? After we have a break after the service and have our coffee and snacks, we'll meet back here and we will have a discussion, question and answer, whatever's on your heart, bring it with you to the unity discussions. And our gathering circle will meet this week. As always, we gather at 12:30. It lasts until about 2. All are welcome to attend. And are there any other announcements? It looks like Bill has one.
Oh, I just want to remind everyone that the last Sunday of the month here in the sanctuary, we bring live music for you all. And we would like to encourage those who would like to participate in the live music as being part of the Unity of Ocala Band to join us on Saturday at 4 p.m. next week, where we'll rehearse here the music that we will do for our service the next day. Thank you. Thank you.
And I would like to announce that, as you probably know, Unity of Ocala tithes out into the community to help those in need of help. And this month, our tithe went to Interfaith Emergency Services. They do wonderful work in our community. If you ever have a chance to go there and visit, they'll be happy to take you on a tour, show you everything that they have, all the resources that they have. So that was this month's tithes. Yes, Deb.
And they have a fabulous thrift shop.
They do, yes.
Yeah, boutique.
I know our house is full of thrift.
Your house is full of thrift. Yeah, they do have a fabulous thrift shop. And it's a wonderful way to recycle things that were once loved but are no longer needed. It'll be someone else's treasure, and Interfaith will benefit. So,
Gosh, I hope this isn't inappropriate. I hope this isn't inappropriate because everybody here is so good to me all the time. I'm looking for a caretaker for my farm for about 4 days at the end of the month. If anybody does that kind of thing or knows somebody, please refer them to me. And thank you for allowing me to take that. Take this
Did
moment.
you say fawn?
Farm.
Farm, okay. I'm picturing a little fawn.
Oh, farm. Oh my goodness, never. Not his belly.
Okay, I think it's time that that those are able to stand, and we'll have our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yay.
Back when I was a kid, I thought gifts from God only came from church. But the more that I live, the more I learn. It's not always the way it works. Sometimes you don't see it till you're looking back. When you didn't get what you thought you had to have. Cause he had a bigger plan than the one you had. Yours didn't work out, and aren't you glad? When you take a look around, it ain't hard to find. Everybody's got things that money can't buy. If the ones you love are sitting right beside you, then I'd say you gotta lie. The best things in life are straight from his hands. It's like raising kids on a piece of land. A little peace of mind when the day is done. Where you think that comes from, that's gifts from God. Oh yeah. It makes you thankful for the hills that we climb, for the waves that we ride, for the lows and the highs, for the wrongs made right, for the songs we sang, for the dreams we dream. Makes you thankful for